This is a quick look of a new gadget that I recently picked up. It's by JNCAir. It's called the JNCAir, and it's actually made by a company called Clore Automotive, C-L-O-R-E. And what this is it's not only a car battery jump starter, but it's also a completely portable tire inflator slash air compressor, which, as you can see, it has that right here. And I did some research online. And basically, I think this is one of the better ones because while they do have cheaper models and different brands such as Stanley and stuff like that, that are basically completely self-contained portable air compressors, a lot of times the nozzle is not made out of metal; it's actually plastic. So I've heard reports of the valve stem, the nozzle here that attaches to the valve stem can actually break pretty easily, whereas this one is metal, so it's a more professional quality and the build quality is just better. And so my initial reason for buying this was to have a portable air compressor to pump up my tires that did not require me to plug into the car. I don't have to start up the car. I don't have to, use the cigarette lighter or the battery on the car or anything. This has its own internal lead acid battery. So I can basically just go up to any car and pump up the tires without even unlocking the car necessarily. So it's pretty convenient, and you're not having to bother with, fiddling around with possibly burning out your fuse or something like that with any of the type that plugs into your cigarette lighter. And you're just not having to use your car at all. You're not having to start up your car and waste gas, or if you have a hybrid like me, waste any of the hybrid battery, which subsequently will, decrease your mileage. So again, this has a portable air compressor, but it's also a jump starter. So if my battery goes dead after sitting for a long time or something, I can jump start my car without having to call a roadside assistance service like AAA or something. So yeah, as you can see, if I turn this on, that's the air compressor. So the air is coming out of here. And it has a PSI indicator here. It can charge, it can pump up tires up to 60 PSI. And this is very accurate. I've measured this and tried it. The gauge on that is quite accurate. And then on the front, this is the front part. Right here you can tell the charge of this internal system, the internal battery, by pressing this, and it'll tell you whether how the charge is doing on that. It's very easy to charge up with your household, any household plug. You basically just plug an extension cord right there, and it starts charging up. And then it's got indicators here for charging and when the charge is complete. Also, one of the nice things about the engineering on this is that it doesn't take any power once it's completely charged. So you could keep it plugged into your household, current all the time if you wanted to. I measured it with my kilowatt, and it does not have any vampire draw once it's charged up. So that's really nice. The build quality on this is quite nice, and it's sort of a professional level kind of device. It's a little bit more expensive than other devices like this that have the built-in air compressor, but I think it's worth it because the quality is a lot better, the build quality. Then you've also got a 12-volt outlet here, this sort of cigarette lighter outlet. Comes with a cable for that. You can actually charge it in the car, like while you're driving, through your cigarette lighter if you want. But another added benefit of this is it helps me turn this thing into a completely portable power unit that I can take with me and have power, or if the power goes out in my house. And I'll show you how I do that. So you open this here, and then I've got one of these. You've probably seen these before. It's just a power inverter with a cigarette lighter plug on it. So this would get plugged right into here, and I have to put the camera down for that because it's sort of a two-handed operation to put that in. Alright, so that plugs into there, and then I can turn this thing on, and as you can see, I've got power. So this thing here has two regular household, power jacks on it. So if my power goes out and I need to charge up my laptop or charge up my iPhone or just, use a light or a lamp or anything, I can use this setup. It's completely self-contained, and I have power. Also, if I want to go somewhere like a picnic or whatever and power up a radio or a lamp or anything, I have total self-contained power using this setup as well. How much power you can use will depend on what power inverter you get. This one happens to be a 400 watt version, so I can plug in anything under 400 watts. And it's pretty cool. Definitely kind of useful. Now this air compressor slash jump starter is a little bit heavy to carry with you all the time. It's about 29 pounds because it has a lead acid battery in here. In my opinion, it's too heavy to carry in the car with you all the time. Unless you're going on a long trip or something and you want to bring it with you, just for safety or security reasons, yeah, that might be fine. But for everyday usage, to have this in the car all the time, I think it's just a little bit too heavy. So I actually have a real cheapy air compressor that I keep in the car for emergencies, made by Slime. It's just like a $15 or $20 one. I'll put a link to all these things, by the way, in the description field of this video. I keep one of those in the car just for emergencies, like when I'm driving, but I don't like to keep this in the car at all times. I store this in the house. But again, it's really nice to be able to use this to pump up my tires without having to even unlock the car. I don't have to plug into the car or anything like that. And it's just nice having an all-in-one unit that has a pretty good air compressor on it to pump up my tires with for general maintenance. It works quite well. And, originally that's what I bought it for, but I have the added benefit of having a jump starter. In case my car battery ever goes out, I can always jump start my own car using this device. And then also, if my power goes out in my house, I have power using this setup. And as I mentioned, if I want to go somewhere and have portable power, I can do that too with this setup. So, products. Again, this has been my look of the Jump and Carry, JNCAir Jump and Carry. And then also I've got the power inverter made by Wagon Tech. I'll try to post a link for that as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video.